Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another weekly vlog. This week I am very interested in getting some stuff done for the channel slash the community, I suppose. So in addition to reading a ton, we're gonna be doing some exciting stuff. First of all, I really want to prioritize wearing clothes every single day, picking out an outfit. I have some clothes that I have coming in the mail, and we're gonna be doing some thrifting later on in the week, putting outfits together even if they're not super cute or like super fashionable, and getting dressed every single day. So I think that's what we're gonna be, one of the things we're gonna be prioritizing. And also I want to make some plans for memberships for this channel. I haven't looked at it at all. I just know it's a thing and it's something that I'm interested in doing. Do some planning. I have some like vague ideas, like extra videos and things like that, but still have some planning that I want to do. And I also want to plan out a book club over on the Fable app. I think you can use it as a reading tracker as well. I haven't looked too far into it, but I'm really interested in starting a book club, so I want to do some digging over there this week and see what Fable is all about, and also plan maybe 3 months worth of books and some theme ideas and names and stuff like that. But that's it as far as goals. I'm reading some things, I'm watching some things, but this week is all about planning, creativity, touching into my creativity, and hanging out with you guys. So I hope you will enjoy the vlog. I've got to get to work, so let's just get into the rest of the week and hope it's a good one. This is the outfit for the day. Please excuse my clothes from yesterday. So it's a simple v-neck black shirt and some comfy pants. They look like dress pants, but they're not. I really wanted to be comfy today because we're taking our most sensitive cat to the vet this afternoon, and I'm very stressed about it. He's my baby and I'm just nervous, so I wanted to be comfy, but this is kind of usually the mood that I go for. This is my outfit for the day. We have these very cute romper shorts, one of my favorite outfits for summer, spring, and some boots. Usually I would wear this with a black shirt underneath, but I wore a black shirt yesterday. But very comfy, very cute, a little too short for my taste, but I don't mind necessarily with shorts. This is the book I'm reading, Buddy Read. My buddy reader is reading it much faster than me, so I desperately need to catch up. Okay, it's been a couple of days. It is Thursday, and quite frankly, I was just trying to recover from the vet appointment and the anxiety of it all, so I decided to take yesterday off of filming. I got home from work and I just read. This is today's outfit. I have a tucked in little tank top with these linen pants and a belt. I like this outfit because it makes me feel like an extra in the sexiest movie of all time, The Mummy, which is pretty cool. I have been running through books and movies the past couple of days. I saw the newest Venom movie with my partner. It was garbage. I finished some mysteries that I have been in the mood for, but I'm currently reading some things. So if you're interested in all of those, definitely check out my Goodreads, all of those that are linked down in the description. But as far as what I'm reading right now, we have Truly Devious. I am 120-ish pages in. I have read this previously. I gave it 2 stars the first time I read it. I read it a couple of years ago when I was on vacation, but I decided to give this another shot because I'm kind of in the mood for it. The biggest problem that I had with this YA mystery story was that it didn't feel like anything was going on. But I'm older now, I'm wiser now, I have more of an appreciation of slow plotted mysteries, so I'm interested to see how I feel the second time around. This is a YA mystery set in 2 different timelines, one following Stevie, who just got accepted into Ellingham Academy, which is a free private school for really intelligent people in various fields. Stevie is obsessed with true crime. The other plot line is a murder mystery kidnapping situation of the guy that made the school. His wife and child went missing. We're following Stevie trying to figure out the truth of the mystery in present, and then we're also following the events that happened in the past. And I remember being intrigued by the story for the first couple 100 pages, and then it getting very, very slow and repetitive. So I'm interested again to see how I feel the second go round. At this point, I'm still pretty interested, and I did reserve all the books in the series from my library, so if I like it, I'm probably just gonna marathon the entire series. And then I think as far as like what I'm watching, I don't really have too many updates. Like I said, I did watch Venom, and I'm currently watching Schitt's Creek still, but I haven't really been watching a ton of stuff. I've just mostly been reading because I have so many books on my plate. Speaking of, I want to go through all of the things that I want to read for the month as like kind of an accountability thing, because I'm just very overwhelmed with the books all the books that I want to read. So we're gonna go through all the books for June that I have on my TBR. Okay, we're not gonna do a whole speaking moment because it is hot, and if you live in the South, you understand car clips are not a thing in the summer, in the spring, summer, late spring, summer. But I live in a fairly wealthy area of my state, an underserved area, which is good for my nonprofit work. However, that means that the thrift stores and stuff tend to be full of good stuff. So I'm gonna visit one of the small thrift stores in the area. I want to check out the thrift store in this area. I want to do all of my shopping this weekend so I don't have to think about my wardrobe for a while, and I'm gonna check out the one up here and just see what they have. I'm gonna look at the books and just see what some options are. But the thing that I'm looking for are like a pair of nice loafers, and also some men's button-down shirts. Okay, so I have gotten home from work for the weekend. I'm having a pre-prepped chicken Caesar wrap that I made last weekend. I have been trying to prep meals more because I want to actually make sure that I'm eating good lunches and not just Pop-Tarts and Uncrustables. So this one is a pretty simple recipe. It's Caesar dressing, lettuce, romaine lettuce. I added some Gouda cheese, chicken. I think that's it. Gouda is really good. I wouldn't get this chicken personally. Again, it has the consistency of sweet and sour chicken, which is great for sweet and sour chicken, but this is not exactly what I wanted. If I make this recipe again, I'll make it with something else, but I pre-prepped plenty. I didn't end up eating a ton because we had leftover buffalo mac and cheese that I snacked on for a couple of days, so I have some leftover wraps that I'll be eating today and tomorrow, and also some rice that I pre-prepared. So I'm gonna eat my lunch, and I'm gonna continue watching Emily D. Baker. She's in trial right now. So I'm gonna watch this, and then we're gonna do a try-on haul of the things that I got from Goodwill and some other places. You might hear my fans in the background. I complain about this the start of every spring summer seasons. The ductwork in our house is not great. There was an extension done on our house, yada yada yada. That's why this room is so big, but it only has one vent and it's right there, and it gets very hot in this room, so I always have fans going. But I wanted to try on these clothes and kind of show you the fit and how I like them, because okay, so here's the thing. I've always been really into clothes, and I've always been fascinated by makeup. I do not wear makeup, but I've always been very interested in it, and I like fashion. And I have a very like androgynous style. I like high necklines, I like my shoulders, I like button downs, I prefer like linen pants, slightly feminine, but mostly somewhere in between masculine and feminine. I prefer high-waisted things. I, for a multitude of reasons, including insecurity and money, have never invested in a wardrobe. I very much am one of those people that just takes whatever is passed down to me with very little thought into whether I actually like it or if it fits in a fashion sense for me. I've been making an effort to find out what my fashion sense is and like actually invest in some pieces. So obviously, I'm gonna reach out, or I'm gonna try out different thrift stores. And I also purchased some things from Old Navy. I thought we could see the 2 pairs of pants that I got from Old Navy. So the first thing that I got was these, I think they're called like Precious Earth or something like that, colored pants. They're in a size large, aka I think this is a 12 to 14. They have an elastic band, and I really like linen pants. I am not a big fan of really tight pants. So let me put this on, we'll see how it looks, and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so like I said, these are high-waisted, they are wide leg, and they do have pockets. They're quite comfortable in this area. They fit pretty well. The pockets do sit on the butt pretty well, and the fabric is slightly itchy, but not too terrible. I'll put the fabric type right here, but I can definitely see myself wearing these. I think they'll probably get more comfortable after washing, and definitely something that I would purchase again in different colors. I would prefer a little bit of a button. I don't like that they kind of look like dressy sweatpants, but I think if I were to wear like a long shirt or like a button down, it would look fine. I also got from Old Navy a pair of Wow Loose high-rise Old Navy jeans in a size 14. The jeans that I currently have are all size 16, I think. They were big when I bought them. I've lost a little bit of weight, and now they're just way too big, but I like them, so I just wear a belt. So I thought I would try a size 14. These are just regular old jeans. I don't like anything too tight, so we'll see how these fit around the waist. Okay, so these are the jeans. They are high-waisted, and I definitely like the feel of these. They're like that quite nice denim texture where it's very soft. It's not stiff like some denims are. So these are for sure a keep. I like that they are not flare, but they're a little bit looser on my ankles, and they're quite comfortable. I will definitely be keeping these. So let's go on to all of the shorts that I got from Goodwill. So I am someone that doesn't tend to really like shorts. I like pants, especially out in public, but I'm trying to get more comfortable wearing shorts out in public. I love to wear them at home. So a lot of these are gonna be like at work or at home, and then if I go out and do something, then I will wear regular pants. So these, according to the tag, are from Shein, which I don't like. Purchase from fast fashion. There are 2X on the curve line, from their curve line, but I don't feel like it's 2X here, but it's not 2X here. Like, obviously I have quite a big butt and I have big thighs, but I don't feel like it's proportional, which is part of the issue that I have. I'm bending down and it's cutting into my thighs, which I don't like. I have found that, especially with the trendy brands and trendy stores, when they're making clothes for curvy people or people that aren't like a size 0, they literally just like make garment wider and they don't make any other dimensions better. But I just don't particularly love these. I love the color, but the fit is just kind of a miss. So these might be donated back. And I just don't think this tie is working the way that it is intended or the way that I thought. Okay, so next up we have these. So these are another pair of shorts from Shein. They're also large, and they're this very thin material, and they kind of are like a cream color, and they have this sort of detailing to it. They're quite comfy. They don't restrict up top or in the legs. So these are a keep for sure. And I can see myself wearing these with a tank top and a button down, which is kind of my intention with the shorts. So I could like pull them up higher to make them shorter and a little bit more comfy. These are a pair of white shorts from a brand called Land and Sea. Never heard of it before. I'm not a brand person. They're just this white color. They're like a linen blend. There's no pockets, and it's a little bit frayed around here, but it's loose enough up top that I'm not getting cut off, and the legs are loose enough. Bending down, it passes the thigh check. So these are from a sleepwear clothing place, but honestly, I don't think I would wear these out in public, but I think at home I would wear these. They do have this kind of like false pocket moment, but I do see potential. I don't really have anything like these, super colorful. I'm pretty much a person that likes to be neutral on the bottom and I'll have all the color up top. But for a couple of these pairs of shorts, I thought I would venture out. So these are comfortable enough that I could like wear them around the house. So these are a size 12, and as you can see, they do not fit very well. I was the most unsure about these because I tend not to like this fabric type where it's like very tight, almost Bermuda shortsy, and I was just unsure, but I thought the pattern was cute, so I was gonna give it a shot, and it's a no. All right, so these last pair of shorts, I have 2 more pairs after these, I'm feeling pretty confident about. Again, these are more of like a waffle knit. They're kind of thin, and they're very, very loose. They obviously have a drawstring that I can use to tighten it, but these are extremely, extremely comfortable. So far, they're definitely the ones that I like the most. So this is a win. Okay, so obviously these would not be styled with this shirt, but it's an extremely stretchy sort of pant that does have these drawstrings tucked on the inside, and it has an elastic band. It goes down a little bit further than my other shorts do, but I love this color, and they're super comfortable. So these are a win. Okay, and then the pair that I was the most excited about and very, very happy that they fit as well as they do, we have these green and white striped shorts. They again have an elastic band that can be tied, and they're so flowy and comfortable that I can see myself wearing these constantly. This was a major win, even if we had a couple of duds. These are great. They have pockets. They're so comfy, and I feel comfortable with the length. They're great. Love the color. Before we get into the button downs that I purchased, went a little crazy with the button downs, but I did get some undershirt. I decided to get a yellow tank top, an orange tank top, and a white tank top to go under button downs. This one's quite a bit bigger, but it had the texture quality that I really liked, and the neckline. Like I said, I prefer higher necklines. I think they look the best on me. I prefer the way they look, and so I just needed a couple of tank tops, not super interesting. And then I also found these pair of shoes, and I've been wanting something like these for a while because I just think they're so adorable. But they're these pair of heels from 9 West, and they kind of remind me of like witches' shoes. They obviously have the point here and they tie up. And I was looking for loafers to wear with my linen pants and my button downs, and I think this is like a pretty good alternative. I have been wanting to have a pair of shoes that are heels. I have a heel that I don't love. They're more like booted heels. These are like heels. Big fan. These were only $8. So we'll see how comfortable those actually are. I got a ton of button downs, tank top, shorts, button down, kind of unbuttoned on top. Obviously I wouldn't wear this one specifically, but When it comes to button downs, I don't like flannels, and I don't like ones that feel like they're actually supposed to be involved or worn in a suit. I want kind of a soft material, which most, if not all of these do. Some of them are a little bit more starchy, kind of a big profile, not tight in the arms, not tight anywhere on the frame. So if it's too tight, I probably will donate it back. Very against public changing rooms, so I was not going to change in any of the public rooms. But this is a Sonoma. It's extra large. It is this lovely blue with gray stripes, or like a dark blue stripe. It is a delightfully soft fabric, and it's flowy enough, and it fits flowy enough that I can button it once or twice and wear it over top of something and not be very hot, not be overwhelmed. Then we have another very soft button down. This is by Modern Fit, and it's in a medium, so we'll see how the fit of it is. This might be a little closer to frame, but it is this brown color with white stripes. This is a little bit more fitted. I might not, it also can't be buttoned. Depending on what I can find to match this, like how would this look with my Earth pants? I don't know. If I can find something that I can go with this, I really do like this, but it's a little bit tighter than I would want. It's not too tight, like I'm not being restricted, but I want something very oversized, but not too long. So I do like this, and I'll see if I can style it with something. And then we have another blue. I'm a big fan of blue. This one has white stripes as well. I don't know if you can really see it. It is Banana Republic, and it's extra, extra large, but it's a slim fit. It is very large. So I would obviously roll up the sleeves on this one, and I would want to wash it to make the fabric a little bit more soft, but I like this one a lot. So then we have this yellow and white striped button down, Cutter and Buck. I am not a brand person. I don't know anything about brands. This is a little bit more starchy, but it is, again, pretty big. I could definitely see myself wearing this with these shorts. I would roll the sleeves, and it's very, very overly large, which is exactly what I was looking for. It adds a pop of color. I could wear this with jeans. So this is great. Then we have this Van Heusen extra large that is like a reddish color, purple color, with these very thin white lines. It's a little bit closer fitting to the body. It does have some different detailing to it. This feels more like a suit shirt. We have a classic button down blue color with a gingham pattern from Arrow. This is a extra large. I'm hoping this one, I really like this one. This was one of the favorite ones that I picked out. It is a little bit starchy. It has more of a constructed sleeve, neck, and lapel situation going. It's not something that I think I would button, but this is like an ideal color combo and style combo for the look that I'm going for. So this is also a keep. And then lastly, we have one that I am very, very, very excited for. It's incredibly soft. It is another Van Heusen. It is in an extra large, and it's this light blue and dark blue, very small stripes. Incredibly soft. Incredibly soft. It doesn't have quite as much rigidity to the sleeves and the collar, which I'm appreciating, and on, oh, it's incredibly soft. So this is definitely a keep. So altogether, I would say this was a pretty successful trip. I got 18 new clothing items, and I only discarded 2. And well, 3, sorry, I only discarded 3. I have tons of things to add to my wardrobe. I think overall it was pretty successful. Obviously, if I had tried on the clothes while I was there, like, I would have known that these would not work for me. But again, I don't try clothes on in public. So I'm going to throw these clothes into the washer. Once they're done, we're gonna add them to my Index app, and I'll go through my Index app with you and show you how I pick out outfits and stuff. Probably continue watching Emily D. Baker. I might read a little bit, and then like I said, once these are done cleaning, I will show you my Index app, and we'll put it in, all of this in together. So we'll talk later. I wanted to say a thing that I completely forgot, and we'll talk about it while I'm checking these for tags. Can you not chew on my stuff? Thank you. Whatever body size you are in, whatever size you wear, whether you're smaller or larger than me, you are worthy of the clothes that you want to wear. You can wear what you want, and you are worthy of having an outfit that expresses who you are. I understand that trying on clothes and all of that can be very exhausting mentally and emotionally, especially if you are not confident with where your body is at. But you deserve to have clothes that fit you, that you're comfortable in, and that you like. You should not be holding on to clothes in the one day hopes that you will fit into them, because that is not only not realistic, but it's also incredibly emotionally draining on you. Every time you try to put that on and you don't fit in it, or you see it in your closet and you know it doesn't fit, just get rid of it. If it's not serving you right now, just donate it. Don't get rid of it, donate it. Pass it on to somebody else, and find clothes that make you happy. There are affordable options out there. There are so many great secondhand resources online and in person for you to try out that are sustainable and also are cute. And I understand that like not a lot of clothes are made for bigger bodies that we might want to wear, but that doesn't mean that you have to be in clothes that you don't like, that you think are ugly, just because you don't look a certain way. So I just want to reiterate that I, for a long time, was someone who thought that if I put any thought or effort into my wardrobe, people, kind of like with makeup, would make fun of me and be like, she's so fat, why would she want to try? Like, why is she trying so hard, kind of situation. And that's just not a healthy mindset, because not only is it inhibiting you from living the life that you want, but other people genuinely do not care. Like, we're not in high school anymore. Nobody is looking at your outfit thinking that you look hideous. If anything, people are probably like, oh, her outfit's so cute. Don't let that stand in your way. I, for many years, would add things to my Pinterest. I have an entire Pinterest board. Outfit inspo. I was like, I'm never gonna actually have this. I don't have it now. None of the stuff that I got fits that inspo, because it's not where I'm at in my life right now. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't wear the clothes that they want, because that was me for a really long time, and I was so concerned about other people's opinions on if I liked my clothes or not, or if I was loud with my clothes and wore beautiful clothes and loud bright colors, like what would people think? Not only do people just genuinely not care, but their opinion is irrelevant. And if they think that you shouldn't wear X, Y, and Z, looking at this might be a little too big. If people genuinely care about what you're wearing and they think you shouldn't wear something because of your size, or because of your tax bracket, or because of what you look like, fuck them. Do you really want to care about the opinion of someone who thinks like that? Never in my life have I looked at someone bigger than me and been like, ew, don't wear that, you know? Like, there are certainly people that are like that, but do you want to give them your time and attention and joy? I really genuinely don't want you to. Like, for me, don't give those people your time and attention, and don't let them take your joy from you. If you want to wear really loud and bright pants, you want to wear a short skirt, you want to wear a crop top, who gives a fuck? There's obviously a lot of emotional things that go into clothes, into wardrobe, and as a millennial that grew up in the early 2000s, that was chronically online, I certainly understand insecurity there, but I want you, for me, not even for you if you don't feel like you're in that place, but for me, because it would make me infinitely happy to know that you are wearing the clothes that you love and that you want, regardless of what other people might think, or regardless of what your brain goblins are telling you other people are going to think, because 9 times out of 10 people aren't thinking. So that's that. Okay, for some reason this battery is also dying. We're gonna do this update really fast. I wanted to talk about the books that I have been reading this week. As I said, I was reading a ton but not filming at all. I ended up finishing Truly Devious. I'm going to compare this to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder because I was listening to that one at the same time that I was reading this. The largest issue that I have with this is something that A Good Girl's Guide to Murder does very well, and that is that the main character's entire purpose, obsession in life is true crime. She loves true crime. She wants to be a cop, an investigator, a detective, whatever. For a majority of this story, she does no detecting. She's scared to investigate anything, and we get chapters and chapters and chapters of her freaking out when a dead body is found. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a normal reaction. This character does have anxiety, and we see some anxiety attacks happening on Paige after everything is found out. However, there really isn't much movement in the way of detecting or mystery solving until the last like 50 pages. And if you are a mystery novel set in an academy and your main character is trying to solve a mystery and her main purpose for being there, the project that she's working on at school, is solving the mystery, some of the story should be solving a mystery, looking into things, detecting, you know, just like the things that you would expect when you go into a mystery. And that's not the case here. The Girl's Guide to Murder, Pippa is ruthless in her pursuit of the truth. That's like one of her main character personality traits. There are times when the events that she's experienced do weigh on her, but it's such a core part of her personality to seek the truth that she pushes through it and or ignores it or works through it or whatever. That is not the feeling that I get from Stevie. It doesn't feel like there is this internal drive to figure stuff out. She'll just randomly spout some facts about a true crime case. There's really no like detective work, and that's what makes this book so frustrating. And I understand that this is a full series, and I do plan on continuing the series because I did ultimately land on a 3-star for this one. I'm not happy with the way that the series is starting. I understand, like I said, it's a setup for a series. We have a long mystery. I don't think the mystery gets solved until like the 3rd or 4th book. So, you know, we have a ways to go, but it was just a little bit frustrating to get through. That is one of the books that I've been reading. The other is Sword Catcher. So I am, like I said, buddy reading this. I am 250 pages in to this currently. I plan to read a lot of this weekend because I'm really enjoying this. Let me fix you. So this is Cassandra Clare's adult debut fantasy novel, and this follows 2 points of view, one of which being Kel, who is the sword catcher, and he is sort of the body double for the crowned prince. And then we're also following Lynn, who is a healer, and she is, or a physician, and she's part of a group of people that are segregated in this city in its own walls. And after dark, they're not allowed to leave. They're discriminated against. The whole world used to have powers, the humans and them. They're called the Ashkar, I believe. The Ashkar still have tiny abilities. They can like use talismans and stuff, but there really isn't any true magic. But this world used to have like dragons and manticores and things like that, but there was a massive war that involved some gods, powers being put in stones, and there's just a lot of lore to the backstory. But the long and short of it is that her people are ostracized. After Kel gets injured, near fatally, her grandfather asks her for her help, and that's kind of where their stories intertwine. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's like some criminal underground stuff. There's this person called the Rag Picker King, who is like Tommy Shelby of this world, similar to a Cassandra Clare Shadowhunter novel without being like the same. The writing feels very familiar, but it's not, it's distinct. This is probably what I'm going to be focusing on for the majority of the weekend. My partner does work, so I think we're gonna do, depending on when my mom and I go to the library and the used bookstore, I probably am gonna do like a bit of a solo date, have a movie date with myself. We do still have to plan the book club and the membership stuff, so we'll do that at some point this weekend. I recently started using what's called the Index app, and I'll screen record so that you can see what it looks like. Essentially, you take photos of your clothes and you can set them in outfits. You can choose to put how many times you've worn it since you entered it in the app, and you can also make outfits out of it. Put all my clothes in the Index app and then make some outfits so we can see what they look like. That does remove the background, so for my hanging clothes I like to hang them on the door and then take photos, and then for the folded clothes like my shorts and stuff, obviously it doesn't matter where I take the photo. Okay, so let's use the Index app to plan my outfit for tomorrow. I know I want to wear some shorts because I do think it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be in the 80s tomorrow. So I want to wear some shorts, and I also want to wear one of my new button downs. I'm going to go into the outfits section, and you can add an outfit by styling it yourself. There's a lot of cool options on Index for things you can do. You can follow creators and things like that. I'm purely just using it to look at the clothes that I have, but I'm gonna create an outfit. I was conceptualizing this while I was actually folding my laundry. I want to wear those white Land and Sea shorts with, I'm gonna try it with the brown button down with the white stripes, and I didn't put the tank tops in my inventory, but I'll probably wear that white tank top and tuck it into the shorts. So once I have it picked, I can add to outfit, and it shows up, I mean you can see it because I'm recording, but it shows up as the outfit that you have, and then you can add shoes, I think, add your bags, you can add your accessories, all that kind of stuff. So I would like to start doing this to make sure that I'm actually wearing the clothes that I have. As you can see, let me go back. I only have 66 items, and these are clothes that I would wear outside of the house. So 66, I feel like, of summer, winter, spring wardrobe, all of that is not a lot. But I want to utilize this to make sure that I'm wearing the outfits that I have, the clothes that I have. And also it's a great way to make sure that if I come across something that I'm interested in, I'm not buying multiples of the same thing. So I think that's the plan for what I'm going to be wearing tomorrow, but we'll actually see how it looks tomorrow when I try it on. We need to go in and add my shoes and stuff, so I might do that now while I watch some Twitch, because I have several cute pairs of shoes that I would like to start styling as well. So I'm going to do that. We'll probably talk tomorrow because it's getting quite late, and I need to start dinner right before my partner gets home. Then we'll do all of our nighttime stuff together, but I'm probably going to be adding the shoes to my Index and then watch some Twitch for the rest of the night. So we'll probably talk tomorrow. So I am surrounded by all of the books that I hope to read in June or make movement on in June. It's not a bad problem to have, but there's quite a few on this list that I would like to try. I'm currently reading Swordcatcher, and my buddy Reed and I are planning on reading the second one, The Ragpicker King. So I will obviously be reading that as well. And then we're also going to be starting a buddy read of the entire Shadowhunter Chronicles. So all 14 or 15 of those books will obviously be on my TBR. Am I gonna get to nearly half of them this month? Probably not. First up, we have My Season of Scandal by Julie Ann Long. I have read one other Julie Ann Long. I think I gave it 5 stars. I really like her writing. It's quite intimate. And I've heard really good things about this. And then another one that is high on my priority list is Yours Until Dawn. I spoke about this in my last vlog, but this is something that was recommended to me by a friend who said that was an instant 5-star for her. So this is about a nurse and a hero that was injured in battle. Very excited for this one, and I'm hoping it is also an instant 5-star for me. So, and then the other 2 priorities that I have are The Rose Bargain. First of all, this edition is absolutely stunning, but I know that this is like a fairy bargain, Fae Prince sort of romantasy that I'm very excited for, and I have been eagerly anticipating reading this one. It just hasn't come up yet, so I'm hoping to get to this pretty soon, maybe next week. We'll see how my other reads pan out, but it's been just sitting on my shelves and I've been eyeballing it every time I go into my library, and I just have never had the chance to pick it up. And then the other one, kind of in a similar vein, is Water Moon. I have heard that this has to do with like a magical shop, and it also has like Studio Ghibli vibes, which honestly every cozy fantasy is compared to that, so we'll actually see. So I picked up a couple of classics that I think I'm going to slowly read over time. I would like to get through one a week. I don't know how realistic that is, but I'm thinking we start small and work our way up. So the first thing I will be reading is The Yellow Wallpaper. This will be a reread for me. I did read this in high school and I remember really loving it, but it's basically about a woman who gets locked up in a room with yellow wallpaper. Like I said, pretty short, so I feel like this is a good boost. Maybe I'll pair it in the same week with something else. Ethan Frome, that I think would be like a good companion to read these 2 in the same week. I know that this is about love and obsession, and it says it's one of America's fiction's finest and most intense narrative, moves this ill-starred trio towards their tragic destinies. I think these 2 would be really good to get done together, so that will probably come within the next couple of weeks. The remainder of the ones that I have that I want to start this month is, first up, Great Expectations, Jane Eyre. Then we have one of my favorite classic writers of all time, and that is The Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. East of Eden is one of my favorite books of all time. My edition of East of Eden is completely falling apart because I've read it so much, and so I want to read some other works by Steinbeck and see if I like the rest of them. I also would like to reread East of Eden this year, but I need to get another edition because the one that I have, I simply cannot read anymore. So the last book that I for sure want to start this month and hopefully read like maybe 100 pages here and there is It. I talked about this in my last vlog, but I didn't end up starting it. I want to read this before the TV show comes out in the fall. We're gonna see. I've read a couple 100 pages of this previously, and we'll see how it goes, I think. Again, I'm gonna take it slow. I'm gonna read maybe a couple 100 pages here and there and see how I feel, but I have some months before the show comes out, I think. It doesn't have a release date. It's just like, it just says like fall of 2025. So that could be like October, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping the show is very good. I think that Bill Skarsgård, the same guy that played Pennywise in the movies, is also going to be playing Pennywise in the show, which he's a phenomenal actor, so I'm excited for that, but we'll see how the source material treats me. That being said, that is it for June. I'm sure some things will come up here and there. I have a ton of books on my Kindle Unlimited TBR that if I just get a bee in my bonnet, I will want to read. So I'm sure some things will pop up along the way, but this is kind of a general idea of what I want to read. Yeah, I would like to finish out the rest of the year reading the classics on my TBR. I have been saying that I'm going to read more and more classics, and I never do, and that's kind of a goal that I want to hold myself to. So not for like any literary merit reasons, not because I think classics are like superior in any way, but I'm a huge reader. I love reading, and I want to explore every facet of reading, and classics are no exception. So that is my TBR. I am still working on my book club stuff for Fable. I genuinely, like, I want to start a book club on Fable, but I genuinely just have no idea what kind of theme I want to go with. Like, do I want to do fantasy romance? Do I want to do contemporary romance? Do I just want to say romance in general and then pick month to month? I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still working it out in my head. I would love some input on what you guys would want to see from a book club, like what themes and things you would want to see, but yeah. I am craving a movie day. I have been reading so much, and I just want to watch some movies for the day, so we're gonna set up our living room, get all comfy cozy. We have our snackies, and we're gonna start off with Nosferatu, and then I think I want to watch a mystery. There is a new Glass Onion Knives Out movie. I don't know if it's out yet, so we're going to check that. But to start off, we have the very delicious black raspberry flavored sparkling ice. We have our water. And then for snacks, we have some peanut M&Ms, of course. Some sour bright crawler trolleys. My favorite movie candy. And then my other favorite movie snack, which is Flip's White Fudge Pretzels, chocolate-covered pretzels. So we're going to get all ready. We're going to get all cozy. I'm going to close all the windows and the blinds. It can get quite dark in here if I do that. And we're going to set up our mood lighting and do all the cozy stuff. So let's just do it. I literally just finished the movie, and it was very, very good. It was very good. It wasn't quite as good as I was hoping for. I had just heard some things, and there was so much buzz around the movie that I thought it was going to be like a new all-time favorite. And it is very good, but it's definitely not something that I will revisit or like remember in 2 years. If you're one of the girls that just wants to know, I would say check it out. It's a little bit long. I felt every single bit of the 2.5 hours. I think the last time I watched a movie over 2 hours that I didn't struggle with the length of, it was Moana. So I always struggle a little bit when movies are that long. Yeah, it was fine. Obviously Bill Skarsgård did an amazing job. I don't necessarily like the two main characters. I don't think the acting was like quite as good as I was expecting. There was a couple of scenes with one of the characters where they were like convulsing and stuff, and it was just a little, I don't know, like I kind of almost giggled a little bit. I don't know, but I think it's a good movie. Like I said, check it out if you have been wanting to watch it. But yeah, for the rest of the day, I'm just gonna read. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I would love to talk down in the comments how your week went, what you watched, what you read. I hope you had a good weekend. Don't forget to subscribe if you're looking for more content like this from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in my next one. Love you so much.